the Constitution of Uganda, Article 125, constituted the National Planning Authority. And in 2002, through the Act of Parliament, the National Planning Authority was created. And it ran for 5 years, run by a team of highly professional experts to take it off. And I'm very grateful to them because starting an institution was not quite easy.
I first met Kisamba in 2008 after they had been sworn in as the new board in August of 2008. I recall a historical meeting he held with staff when he arrived, because we had a board but we had not had a lot of staff time to sit and plan together where the institution is going.
Actually, I came and I thought I would not make it that far. But the confidence he gave in me, the encouragement he gave in me, made me move from strength to strength. To the extent that I can talk now with confidence that even if I am not having a very good planning background, I have grasped planning, especially development planning, to the core. And all this I attributed to his guidance.
I had been authorized and advised and even directed to dismiss whoever I found here at the National Planning Authority. But I realized that there is no king without subjects. So instead of dismissing, we decided to mold the people who were there.
I love the passion with which he respects all professionals. The last being when we were going to see the president for his farewell. How passionate he was to see even the smallest contributor, the smallest professional in the institution being allowed a stage with the president. I would have given up and say, let me take all the managers. But knowing the Kisamba I knew that would put me in big trouble. Because I know he's a person who likes to see people express themselves.
He has guided us. He has showed us that all of us at NPA must be technically sound. He has encouraged us to go back to school. Several people have gone back for PhDs, for their masters, for first degrees, those who don't have.
By the time I joined NPA, all the members of the board had PhDs. It was me who didn't have. And I felt out of place. But with his encouragement, he told me, you can make it. Read. So he encouraged me, and I joined Makerere University, and I did the training. In record time of 4 years, I completed my PhD.
On the social side, actually, we used to walk. Lunchtime would be from 12 o'clock to 3. Because people would say, I went for lunch. Now, you don't know whether somebody left for lunch at 1 or at 12, but they will say, I went for lunch. So there was 12 to 3 o'clock, which was lost on lunch. So when Dr. Kisamba came, he said, I'm going to provide lunch, basic lunch, but everybody should eat together. And during lunchtime, there is no chairman. There is no manager. Everybody sits together and you laugh. And I can assure you the team building over lunch has grown from height to height, where everybody sits with everyone and shares a meal.
The world over, in international community, they define countries and they categorize them into three: least developed countries, middle income status, and developed countries. Ours being a least developed country, we had to aspire to become a middle income country.
So to me, I see Dr. Kisamba as a pioneer in propelling development planning again in Uganda, because we used to plan in the 60s and we stopped. The rest of the planning that we were doing were short-term rolling plans. So when he came on board, he said his task was to bring back Uganda on long-term development planning. And that's what I will always remember him for.
He has that strength and capability of marshalling a team. We joined this institution finding a small skeletal staff of about only 20 people. You can imagine 20, but the task at hand was so big. But with the 20 people, we managed to write and produce the first NDP. And all this is attributed to his teamwork, his inspiration, bringing everyone together and not leaving anyone behind. We wrote the first NDP. And we went ahead to even write the Vision 2040, which most of you must be conversant with.
In 2010-11, we managed to have the Vision 2040, which was launched by His Excellency, the President. And this was a milestone in recognizing the presence and relevance of the National Planning Authority. It was the first time that His Excellency, the President, ever interacted seriously with the National Planning Authority in its history.
And what I've learned from him is that development planning is both a technical job and a political job. The board members I had found in the National Planning Authority were very technical people, but you needed to be politically astute in order to enter this development planning table and change the business as usual.
So over the years, we have been going from strength to strength by virtue of our products. What we produce talks for themselves. We are media shy because we are very much responsive to results. We wouldn't like to run to the media saying, you know, we've done ABCD, but our results speak for themselves. And this is one attribute which Dr. Kisamba taught us.
And I'm happy, as we are, I could say, celebrating 10 years of my office at National Planning Authority. We can claim a number of good roads which have been in the country, and the railway is at advanced stage to be implemented. The airline come next year, we may be flying. Waterways has improved in some areas.
It has not been smooth sailing. He has had to fight a lot of battles, and I admire him for the battles he has fought for the National Planning Authority. Several of them at all levels, but he was always led by the fact that I want to leave a development plan for Uganda, and I want to leave development planning ingrained in the DNA of Uganda.
So we have a healthy population through universal primary education and secondary universal education and skilling. We have skilled people, educated people. Now the challenge is that we have healthy people, educated and skilled, but how do they apply their skills?
Dr. Kisamba Mugerwa technically is competent. He will read his things, you give him a paper, Dr. Kisamba Mugerwa will really bring back with red marks in it to show you that he has read it and he's guiding you. And to me, that's a very good boss.
I see in him a father of development planning in Uganda. If I had the powers If I had the powers of appointment, I would have said, please stay a little longer so that we can empty the knowledge you have in you and convert it to ourselves so that we can also be like you.
It is hard to say bye to a friend, to a boss, and someone you have known for a long time. As I told you, I've known Dr. Kisamba Mugerwa for a long time. He somehow molded me in what I am. So it's so hard for me to say bye to him. But Dr. Kisamba Mugerwa, I will always remember you for lifting me up, to putting me where I am.
We say, Chairman, goodbye. We thank you for the role you've played in our life. Enjoy your life outside NPA.
Dr. Wilberforce Kisamba Mugerwa. Now, Wilbur, to me, I saw meaning, wisdom, intellect, a leader, brave, ecstatic, and also responsive. So that acronym is Wilbur.
In that way, I'm very grateful to those I've worked with, my colleagues, Dr. Godfrey Okot, Achel, a board member, Professor Sam Chinyara, who is joined us in 2 years ago, Mary Muduri, who left on personal grounds, and the others who came and left. I'm grateful to the technical team led by Dr. Joseph Mvawala for a good job done, and to lead a technical team of about 62 technical people. I'm leaving a team of 62 professionals against 21 supporting staff. And this is, to me, an achievement. I'm leaving a professional body who can tackle and address all those areas in planning, in evaluating, in monitoring, which were formerly a domain for experts from abroad. But they can now have home-baked professionals who can undertake that. I thank the Ministry of Finance for continuing opening its tap for funds to trickle down to National Planning Authority, without which it would have been difficult. I thank His Excellency for having offered me opportunity to serve 2 terms at the National Planning Authority. I thank His Excellency, the Vice President, who has been chairing Presidential Economic Council meetings, which is the topmost avenue through which National Planning Authority gets its policy papers to the government and to the President. I thank the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Rakano Rugunda, for his support. I've been an ex-official member of Cabinet, and always my hand catches his eyes.